So, hello, love. So, my husband and I were going to go for a walk in the forest, and it's a little cloudy out there and a little cool. So, I had on my hat and my sweater and ready to go, and it started to rain. And we haven't had a lot of moisture this autumn, so it's a good thing. But I really wanted to go for a walk in the forest today. And one of the reasons why I love going to the forest is because all these trees are hundreds of years old and it's a pine forest. And we go into this forest and just walk along the trails and we meet different people typically that are walking their dogs or maybe they're on a walk on their own. But we just kind of get into the forest and hear the swaying of the trees, you know, blowing in the breeze clear high up because they're a couple hundred feet tall. And it's pretty astounding to be amidst in the midst of that kind of atmosphere. And if I can't get away to the mountains, which isn't very far away from here, but to get away from the city and a lot of people and to like a place in the mountains, this forest is nearby. And it's really a lovely place to go to. And so I was really looking forward to go today. But one of the things that I do that I know that it brings to me when I do go to the forest, it helps me come back to center. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, but just things personal in my life, having, my brother having moved on into the next dimension, and a lot of different things that have gone on this year. It's been quite a year for my husband and me, and for some of our family members who are involved in some of these same situations that we've known about, and just things for ourselves as well. But what I always remember, and I think this is kind of the way of being, and I know it works for me, is to stay in the eye of the storm. And the eye of the storm, of course, is everything going around us all the time, the busyness, the politics, the news, that just being busy and aiming up, gearing up for the holidays, that kind of thing, that can be the storm. And you get so busy with that, you kind of forget who you are. You kind of get into this place of where you like, who am I right now? You want to do the very best, of course, for your family members and getting together with friends and people that you love during the holidays. But you also want to remember who you are. And so stay in the eye of the storm. And it's not about a place of being where you're standing still. I mean, I do believe that some of the greatest things that anybody can do is to meditate. And I meditate every single morning. And it can bring you to health and well-being, just to be in the stillness, just to be in the atmosphere of that which I know is much greater than me, far greater than me, that knows everything there is to know. And I can step into that atmosphere and just sit in that atmosphere. And when I'm in a good place and I'm meditating, my cats come and join me because they can feel the energy and they come and sit with me and they join me and we all meditate together. So, there's things like that that you can do. But there's also when you're in the middle of busyness and middle of your work, middle of planning a big event or whatever it is you're doing, stay centered. Stay in the eye of the storm. Let the storm go around you. And it's a form of perspective. It's a way of staying with the union of who you are with that which you know is greater than you. I call it alignment with the grand overall design. Think about that. What might be for you could be your highest and best self or whatever you call it. So we stay in this place of the highest and best that we know how in the moment and just keep moving to the next highest and best moment, the next high and best moment, staying in this place of being centered. Then you know what to do, what to say, and how to do it sometimes. And that's for me, that's when intuition speaks to me most of all. That's when my intuitive voice comes through because that's the greater aspect of myself that comes through is this greater wisdom within me. And I call the grand overall design of life infinite love and wisdom. And so it's something far greater than me. And it's all about love, every message I give to you is about love. And love to me is peace and harmony and joy. It is grace. It is elegance. It is health and well-being. It's abundance. It's so many things, order and balance. It is beauty. It is joy. And so all these things come from love as forms of love, and they all work together. So when you stay in the eye of the storm, you can have this ability to do this. And staying in the eye of the storm is being still, is being in the level of awareness of being, having a higher perspective, just being centered and tuning into what's going on around you, tuning into who's with you, knowing full well that you have everything that you need. And when you're in the question, just ask for support, ask for help. I do it all the time. And the answers come through sometimes immediately, sometimes they come through in my meditation, sometimes they come to me in a dream. And it's pretty exciting. So a lot of that comes from, and I write about a lot of that. So I've written 9 books now. My latest book, as some of you know, is Twice the Afterlife, story of my 2 different near-death experiences, but it's more about, it's not as much about the next dimension because it does talk about my experience. I tell you about my experience there of those 2 different times I remember in this lifetime, having been there twice. But it's more about how to live it here and now because all the wisdom in the next dimension is available to us right here to live right here because heaven is right here around us all the time, around us, within us, and as us. It is the wisdom of what I call the infinite love and wisdom. It's within us and as us. And we can do this. And one of the ways is just staying centered, it's staying in the momentum and staying, what I say, it's called in being the eye of the storm. You tap into sometimes the storm. You go and be with the people. And sometimes you have your opinions about, the politics, or you have your opinions about the news. You might watch the news, but then you step back away again and come back to center again, come back to this place within you that knows and be in that place. And you have this sense of self-esteem there. You have this sense of a greater sense of knowing. There's so much to this. And I try to give you a little bit of that information each and every time that I'm here. And I sure wanted to go to the forest today, but instead I get to be with you. And I love you so much. But again, my book, I just put it into an audiobook. So it's in hardcover like this. It's in paperback. It's in also in all my books actually are on hardcover, paperback, and also Kindle form. But this is the first one that I got in an audiobook because it's done through AI, and I have to work with AI to get it to do it. So it took me 5 weeks and I read it and worked through it 5 different times in order to get the book to the best way I can get it. And it's now out there. And so in the next video, I will tell you a little bit about a friend of mine who read it, and she's read it and she's also listened to it, and it helped her with a situation in her life. But I'll tell you about that in the next video. But the book I'm working on now is my first novel, Aberos. And so it's this long to read it, but I'm putting it into audio now, and I'm really having a lot of fun doing it. So, and all my other books will be in it eventually too. So anyway, stay in the eye, be the eye of the storm, be that vision, that higher vision of where you look with both eyes, you see with both, you hear with both ears, you speak with one mouth. In other words, you see twice as much and you hear twice as much, but you speak half as much as what you see and hear. Easy to do, right? So, okay. Sending you lots of love. And as Grandma always said, love you bunches. Bye for now.